today I'm back to film my weekly makeup bag video. I've actually filmed this video 4 times. So I filmed this once and it was actually supposed to be up last Tuesday, and then I deleted it. And then I don't remember what happened the second time, but the third time I ran out of room on my memory card, so I couldn't record anymore. And I kind of had to upload everything I had and remove some files and stuff to kind of be able to film this today. So I'm really hoping that now everything is perfect and I can actually get through this video this time. But I am kind of going through a decluttering phase right now with my makeup collection. So you might see a lot of things that maybe I haven't shown before, I guess. But I'm just kind of going through and decluttering a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start with primers like I always do. But I have my Urban Decay Pore Perfecting Primer. I really don't like this. It's kind of similar to the Benefit Professional, except for that when the Benefit Professional comes out, it's kind of a silicone like matte finish, and this is kind of greasy, and it just kind of stays greasy, which is what I really don't like about it, because if I have big pores, I want my skin to be matte, because I also feel like that's kind of another thing that counteracts my pores kind of. But you can kind of see there, it's got a sheen to it, and then once you blend it in, it stays that way. So yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's just kind of greasy looking a little bit. So I'm not really liking this, but I'm going to give it another 2 weeks and see what I think. At the end of the 2 weeks, I'm either going to pan it or give it away, but right now I'm just really not enjoying it, and I'm trying to like it because I want to like it because it was a free gift from the Urban Decay vendor, but I'm not liking it, so I don't know. The other primer I have in here is my Tarte BB Tinted Treatment Primer. This I'm just using as my primer under my Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. I kind of wear this as my foundation sometimes, like I have it on today as my foundation, but I really only use it as my foundation on just like my absolute like lazy days, because sometimes I just don't feel like applying foundation, and I'm trying to kind of get out of that funk of just using this all the time. So I'm trying to just use this for days like today where I'm not really doing anything. Like, I'm going to my dad's house and we're going to paint, but like, you know, I'm not really leaving the house or doing anything super big that I care about. So I just kind of threw this on. But that's kind of my other priming product. For foundations, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I've worn this the last 2 days because it's Tuesday, and technically this weekly makeup bag started on Sunday. But I'm sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. She usually lays down for my entire videos, and she's up kind of walking around. So you can kind of hear her little nails clicking and her collar jangling. But anyways, I'm trying to kind of clean up my foundations because I have been trying a lot of different BB creams and stuff lately. I've been kind of on the hunt for like my favorite BB cream to wear like swimming and stuff, because the Tarte one is nice, but it's kind of, I don't know, it just kind of breaks up in water and it doesn't look very good, and it kind of looks a little unnatural. So I'm trying to find kind of a nice BB cream that I like, but I can't justify buying another BB cream until I get rid of some of my foundations and BB creams that I already have. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going through and decluttering my foundations. And the last time I used this, I remember I didn't really like it that much, but the last 2 days that I've used it, it's been fine and I've liked it. So I don't know. But I'm going to try this out for 2 weeks, and at the end of 2 weeks decide whether it's something I want to keep or something I want to get rid of. And I'm just going to kind of do that with all my foundations, just so I can kind of declutter a little bit more. I do have one more foundation, and it's my Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. I think if I wore this for 4 or 5 days straight, it would probably be completely done, because there just isn't a lot left. So that's kind of my goal, especially since at the end of this weekly makeup bag be like the beginning of August, and it'll be time to film that I can finish this by then. So I'm really hoping I can finish that soon. I did wear it a lot last week. I think it's pretty much the only foundation I really wore last week, besides maybe, I think I might have worn my Too Faced Born This Way like once last week. But I've just been really into powder foundations too, because they are just another kind of lazy option. Throw the Tarte BB cream on, do my makeup, besides like maybe my cheeks and stuff, but I can do like my eye makeup and my brows, and then I can set my powder on top and then do the rest of my makeup after. But it's just kind of nice. It's nice coverage, and it's, like I said, pretty lazy. So The other powder I have in here is my Maybelline Fit Me. This is just my setting powder. As you can see, mine is really close to being done as well. I'm hoping this will hold on for the 2 weeks. If not, I do have a backup, so I'll probably just reach for that. But I think, as much as I love this powder, I think I'm going to try the Tarte Smooth Operator pressed version next. They do have them in actual shades now, so I think I'm going to get the fair shade and try it out. Because I love the Maybelline Fit Me, but I kind of want to try something else. I just feel like trying something else. I've used up 2 of those now, so I'm kind of okay with trying something else. I'm going to go ahead and let's talk about highlighters and blush and stuff. Actually, let's do concealers quick first. So for concealers, I actually have 2. I have my Urban Decay Naked Skin, kind of as always. And then I just recently purchased this. It's the Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch Concealer. This isn't as brightening as I was hoping it was going to be. I got the ivory shade. They did have like a radiant shade, which was more pink, but it's just not as brightening as I was hoping it would be. Like, it conceals pretty good, I think, but it's just not the brightened, highlighted effect that I was kind of going for. So it's an okay concealer, but I'm not in love with it, and it kind of, I don't know, I just wanted a concealer so that way I wasn't flying through my naked skin as fast as I usually am, because it just goes really fast for me. So I just kind of wanted another concealer to use every once in a while, so I'm not always using my naked skin. But there's that. We'll go ahead and talk about like cheek stuff. So for highlighters, I have 3. I almost had 4, but I decided to take one out because I was like, I'll just wait a little while. But I have the Stila All Over Shimmer Liquid Luminizer, and I have pink shimmer, and this one is in rose gold shimmer. And I've barely used these. I got them for free from work, but I just don't use them very much, so I don't know. I was like, well, we'll pull those out and try them again. It's kind of another thing where I'm like decluttering a little bit, and I'm not sure if I want to keep them or get rid of them, but I figured I'd try them out. My other highlighter is in my Tarte palette. This has got this pretty champagne highlight here, and this I actually really like because even though I'm really fair, it does show up on me. It's not white, but it's like a very, I don't know, you can see it there in my hand. It's really pretty. It's not white, but I feel like on camera it looks white. So I'm actually going to be working on this for, I think, my Project Pan next year. I really want to pan the whole palette. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of a head start because I finished some products this last week and I need to I just want to keep going. So this is going to be kind of my new highlighter that I'm going to focus on panning. Maybe the Stila ones too, I might kind of focus on panning. And since we're in here, I also am going to start using this bronzer this week because I finished my Too Faced bronzer yesterday. I filmed my Tarte Get Ready With Me yesterday, and I used a little bit of that, then, and then later in the day we were doing something and I felt really pale. I was having a day where I felt really pale, so I applied a lot more bronzer and I ended up just using it up because I was like, oh, there's such a little amount left. It's kind of starting to really crumble and stuff now. Like, I'm just going to use it up. So I ended up using it up yesterday, and I'm going to start on this Tarte one in here. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to purchase another Too Faced bronzer or if I want to kind of go with the Tarte one. But I do actually have a couple more bronzers besides this. I totally forgot, but I have the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, and then I also have a Laura Geller Baked bronzer. So this is kind of the next one I'm working on. For blushes, I have a ridiculous amount. I got a little overexcited and purchased a bunch because I have talked about, I don't know if I've talked about it in several videos or if I just kept talking about it because I had to keep filming this one over again. But I bought the NYX Baked Blush in Ladylike, and I've been pairing that with my MAC blush in Breath of Plum. And I really like these two together. I just do Breath of Plum first and then put this over top. And this just makes a nice blush topper. They're really sheer, but I kind of like them. I have one on today, which I'll talk about, but this one's Ladylike, so I have those 2 in here. And then since I liked Ladylike so much, I decided I'm going to purchase 4 more because I like that they're more sheer. I'm a person that gets a little heavy-handed with my blush sometimes, and I kind of like that these are more sheer because then I don't go so overboard. This one I used Sunday. This one is Journey. This is one of my favorites. This is like a pinky, kind of, I don't know, it's got a little bit of brown in it, not much, but it's also one of the more matte shades. It still has a little bit of a sheen to it because it is baked, but it doesn't have shimmer in it like Ladylike does. So it's kind of a pinky brown, but it's just got like a hint of brown, so it's not really that brown. On camera it looks really different, but that one is Journey. These next two are probably going to look really similar, but I promise you they are not. This first one is Wanderlust, and this one is, I wouldn't say straight up orange, but it's pretty orange, peach colored, and that's what it looks like. This one I think does have a little bit of shimmer in it. Yeah, this one seems like it's got some shimmer in it. The next one is the one I actually have on now, and this is Foreplay. This one is a little bit more on the pink side. You can actually, this one I feel like you can kind of tell a little bit difference. Like this one is a little bit more pink. So there's that. And then the last one I picked up, this is the one I knew I for sure wanted to pick up. This is in Chiffon, and I don't think I've worn this one yet. I might have, but I don't think so. It reminds me a lot of the Benefit Rockateur blush. Kind of that brown mauve, almost got like a little bit of like a rose gold thing to it. It's really, really pretty. But I've heard so many people talk about it, and I've wanted the Benefit one for a while. And I kind of saw this on our Ulta website, and I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and try this one and just see what I think. So I have that one in here, and I don't think I've worn it yet. Because I know I've worn Journey, and like I said, I had Foreplay, and I've used Ladylike a lot. So I haven't really used Wanderlust or Chiffon yet. So, and then of course I do want to use the blush that is in this set too. It's just a light pink color. It's not really anything super special. So I'll probably use that if I don't really know what to use, but I might actually try even mixing with Breath of Plum because it's kind of a pretty color. So those are all my blushes. Go ahead and talk about brows. For brows, I have 4 products, which is kind of a lot. I have my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I don't use this a ton. I use this with my dip brow a lot of times, but not always, just sometimes. The other 2 brow products I have are my, of course, Dip Brow in Blonde. This I use almost all the time. It's actually not what I use today, though, surprisingly. But what I did use today, and this is kind of, again, my quick, easy, I don't feel like doing my eyebrows kind of combination. It's the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I can fill in my brows pretty well with this. Like, that's most of what this is just the Gimme Brow. But I don't have a lot of brow hairs towards the beginning of my brow, so kind of to help fill that in, I will use this Rimmel Brow Pencil. I don't think they look too bad together. They're pretty close in shade, but I still think this is maybe just a little bit more red than like the Gimme Brow. So I'm kind of working through both of those, but I like it because it's just really easy, so that way if I don't feel like doing my brows, I just have something I can kind of quickly put on. So there's that. Next we'll do mascara. So I have my Urban Decay Perversion in here. This is what I have on today. It's just, I don't know, I keep this in here because I just really love how black this is, but I feel like mine is getting kind of old and it is going to have to go soon, so I'm a little sad about that. But the other one I have in here is my Maybelline The Falsies mascara. This one I like because it's, again, just really quick. Like this one I can really just throw on, whereas Perversion I have to take a little bit more time because it is getting a little clumpier, so I have to worry about it looking clumpy. So Maybelline Falsies is nice because I can just throw it on. This one I like the formula a little bit better. It does a little bit more for me, but it's getting kind of old. So those are my mascaras. Now on to eyeshadow primers and bases. I have 2. I have this Urban Decay Perversion one, which I'm hoping will hold on for these 2 weeks. I don't really have a lot left, but I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. I'll come back to the Too Faced one probably after this. But I have so many of these little Urban Decay primer potions, and it makes me really happy because I do not like their new packaging. So I'm probably going to have to try to find a way to, I don't know, find a different eyeshadow primer or something, but I'm just kind of like not enjoying their new packaging at all, so I'm kind of glad I have all those little sample ones, but at the same time I know they're not going to last me forever. So the other eyeshadow base I have in here is the Maybelline Color Tattoo, and this is in Barely Branded. I think I'm going to throw this in my project pan for next year, but I still want to use it now just because any progress I can make now is good. It'll help me out next year. So I'm just kind of using that here and there. I don't use it a ton, but I wanted to have that in here. For eyeliners, I kind of have a lot of bronzy, gold, peachy colored shadows this week, or these weeks. So two eyeliners that kind of instantly came to my mind were the Mally Toasted Sugar and Mally's Glow. Mally's Toasted Sugar is kind of just that champagne color, and I just throw this in my waterline. Whereas Mally's Glow is like a pretty bronze brown color, and it's got like some pretty shimmer to it. So this looks really good with like a lot of gold eyeshadows and stuff. But those two like instantly came to mind, so I knew I was going to use those. The other four I have are just kind of my typical four. I have my Urban Decay Perversion in here because I always need a black eyeliner. Plus I have a lot of these little Perversion samples, so I'm actually trying to work through a lot of these as well. I'm not pushing it as much as I did if it was like a Project Pan item, but I'm still trying to declutter as much as I can. Next is my Ulta Automatic Eyeliner in Deep Brown. This is actually a really great eyeliner. I like it. It doesn't stay terribly well on my waterline, but I haven't really found anything that does. So, and this is actually, it's probably almost the same color as Mally's Glow, but it doesn't have any shimmer in it. It's just like a matte brown. So this I keep in here too, just because it does look good with some of those more gold bronzy looks as well. And then my other two, these are my more colorful ones, but I have Empire in here because there are, I think, a couple purple shadows I have in here, and sometimes I wear eyeliner and purple shadows together. Sometimes I'll wear a completely neutral look and I'll wear Empire with it just to add a little pop of color, but I thought I'd use that this week. And then also lastly is Sabbath. Sabbath I actually really love with a lot of peachy colored shadows as well. Any neutral looks, anything like that. I do have a blue shadow in here this week, so I feel like there'll be a lot of times I'll use this week, which will be good for my Project Pan update. So those are my eyeliners. Onto single shadows. I have 4, which kind of feels like a lot just because I have so many palettes in here right now. But I have the NYX Nude Matte Shadow and Kiss the Day. As you can see, I've hit a pretty big pan on this, and I'm actually just trying to kind of finish it. But the reason that I love this shadow is because a lot of times my palettes don't have a light enough brow highlight for me to actually use, and this is like the perfect brow highlight for me, so I pretty much keep that in here as my brow highlight. Next I have Virgin in here. Virgin I've actually hit pan on too. You can kind of see just that little spot. But this I just keep in here to pair with my Naked palette. Also I like to use it as an inner corner highlight sometimes, and so since I never really know if I'm going to want to use it or not, I just kind of keep it in here. I have Gravity in here, which I'm going to talk about these in my next Project Pan update, and we'll just kind of have a discussion about these, but needless to say they're not going so well, and I'm just really having a hard time working on these. So we'll talk about those in my Project Pan update. And then lastly, this is my favorite summer eyeshadow of probably all time, and I'm a little surprised I haven't worn it yet, but it's Stila Kitten. This eyeshadow is just the perfect eyeshadow color in my opinion. Like, there's just nothing as good as Kitten. So it's just so pretty, and I love just throwing this on with brown eyeliner, a little bit of mascara, some light face makeup, and I am, ready to do whatever. It's just kind of my go-to summer look, so that's why I love that eyeshadow so much. Now onto my palettes. So for my palettes, I've decided I'm going to do something a little bit differently. I'm going to use my Project Pan palettes, and then I'm going to have like one kind of fun palette. One palette that I kind of gonna play with. And I do have a little more than that, but I'll explain. So first off, I have my Anastasia Catwalk palette in here. I haven't really used this a lot the last couple weeks, and I decided it was kind of time to get back into it. So of course it's got really pretty colors for summer, but I actually thought it would pair really well with the palette that I'm kind of using as my fun palette this week. So I bought the Naked Smoky palette, and I bought this palette, and I debated for a little while about which one I wanted to put in here. The Smoky palette, I think I'm just going to wait a little closer to fall because it is the middle of July, and I was like, I can wait and do smoky stuff later in the year. So I chose the Anastasia Shadow Couture palette for this week, and I have to say the packaging between this one and the Catwalk palette they're not a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference that I'm like, I love this palette so much more packaging wise than the Catwalk one. It's just not as cheap looking or feeling, even though it is still cardboard. So this is kind of my fun palette for the week, but I just really liked some of these brighter pops of color that they have in here. And then down here, this little quad, this little section right in here, I really liked. This to me kind of screamed Jaclyn Hill a little bit, just because it's got like soft peach, Morocco, fudge. Those were just all kind of colors that I thought of her kind of when I saw them, because they're all very warm and really pretty, but I'm really excited to play with this palette because I've barely touched it. So I'm really excited to play with that, and I think the Catwalk palette will pair pretty well with it. There's a couple shadows in there I'm already kind of planning some looks with. The other like fun palette I have in here, and the reason that this is in here is kind of for decluttering purposes, but it's the Pop Beauty Brighten Up Your Life eyeshadow trio in Peach Parfait. This was something I was kind of thinking about keeping and something I was kind of thinking about getting rid of. The eyeshadow formula was really, really good the first time I used it, and now, I mean, it's still really good. Like, that's really pigmented, but just something about them I'm not liking as much. Like, there's the light color next to Kitten. And there's the peachy color too. I don't know, I just, for some reason when I wore them, it just felt like they weren't applying as nicely as they did the first time I used them. There they are. Like, it's really, really pretty, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm just kind of like, keep or get rid of, I don't know. So I'm going to try to out a little bit more of this next 2 weeks and just try to decide, because this whole decluttering thing, like, I'm trying to kind of get rid of eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes, because that and lip products are what I have the most of. So any little place that I can kind of cut corners and get rid of a few things would be nice. Of course, I have my Naked palette in here. I might finish a shadow out of this week. I'm not really sure. It kind of depends on how much I wear it. But there's a shadow in there kind of close to being finished, and I don't want to give up on it just yet. Like, I might, you know, actually finish it in time. So then I have 2 Tarte palettes in here. This one, of course, I'm not really using it as much. I'm just kind of using it, this color here, because this is my base shadow, and for Project Pan. I might use the matte gray right here, but I don't know. If I don't use it, it's not a big deal. I'll use it if I need to. Just every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I really need like a nice matte gray eyeshadow, and the one in here is really nice. It's kind of a purpley gray color, so I love it, but yeah, I don't use it all the time, and I don't care if I don't use it. Just if I use it, I use it. And then this is what I filmed my Tarte Get Ready With Me for, so I kind of already used this. But I do love this because this little quad is mostly all matte. This shadow right here, which I believe is T for 2, is the only one in here that is not matte. The rest of them are all matte shadows. So it kind of gives me a couple more like brow bone, crease, outer V colors that I can use just for blending and that kind of thing, because I don't feel like I have a ton of matte shadows, and especially with my Naked palette, the matte shadows being gone, you guys might see this kind of a lot more in upcoming videos. So that is why it's in here. Plus, I'm kind of actually working on panning this Tarte holiday set. Just kind of unofficially working on it, I should say. Like, I like them and I don't want to get rid of them, but I also kind of don't want to keep them. Does that make sense? So I'm just kind of panning them, so that way I get to use them and enjoy them, but that way I'm still kind of working on moving them out of my collection. So it's not really a fun palette, it's just kind of in here to help with some of the other things. Then I have my MAC Fabulousness Warm Eyes. I'm going to try to use this because, again, another one of the shadows in here I feel like is sort of close to being done, but probably not going to finish it, but I'm just like, I want to keep it in here just in case. And I do have this Tarte palette. I don't plan on using on any of the eyeshadows though, which is something I kind of wanted to touch on. I'm just not going to touch the eyeshadows. I'm just going to use the face products out of this. I'll get to the eyeshadows later. I'll use them at some point, but this week with all the palettes I have in here and stuff, like maybe towards the end of the year when I finish something like this, I'll kind of start working on using this more. Sorry, my throat just like, I don't know, got really dry all of a sudden. So now onto lip products. Lip products, same thing. I'm cleaning them out, so I'm kind of wearing everything once and being like, do I want to keep it or do I want to get rid of it or do I want to pan it? That's kind of what I'm trying to decide. So first thing is my little Bite Beauty duo. This I got from Sephora when I ordered my, I got the Jaclyn Hill highlight, and I was going to use that this week, but I used it a little bit last week, so I was kind of like, well, I'll focus on some highlighters that I actually need to get rid of or keep. So anyways, I bought this when I bought that just to get the $50 free shipping. This one here is Tangerine. It's a really pretty red-orange color. It's perfect for summer. It's really, really pretty. But I haven't actually got to wear this one yet. I've just kind of swatched it and played with it. And then this one I don't know how to pronounce. Lingonberry, maybe? But it is like a purpley fuchsia pink color. It's really, really pretty too. So I really enjoy this little duo. The only thing that makes me sad is the Bite Beauty lipsticks just don't last very long on me. I've only ever tried, you know, the luminous cream ones, but they do have like the little matte pencils and stuff. I'm wondering if maybe those will last a little bit longer, but their lipstick formula is great. The colors are really great, but they just don't last very long. Next, this is kind of a duo and something I'm working on, but the NYX Butter Lipstick in Bit of Honey. This is what mine looks like. I'm going to try to finish this little nub in the next 2 weeks because it's melted, and like since it's kind of unattached from the base, like I think it's attached right now because it's slightly melted, but I think as soon as it's like cools down it'll probably separate from the base again. But I just want to finish that little nub. I think it's going to get really kind of difficult to finish towards the end with it being unattached, but we'll see. I'm just really excited because I feel like I've made some pretty good progress with it and I just want to keep it going. And it's actually what I have on today, but on its own it's kind of orange. So I've been pairing it with this, which I've kind of unofficially been panning as well. This is the Smashbox lipstick in Posy Pink, and that's all I have left of that. It's just that little bit, but this is more of a peachy pink, so it kind of makes the Bit of Honey a little more on the pink side and a little less orange. So I've been wearing these two together a ton. It's what I have on now. It's kind of just been my go-to lip, even though I'm not crazy about it. It's pretty, it's just nothing special. So just trying to pan those two together. This I used yesterday in my Tarte Get Ready With Me. It's the Tarte Eternal Lip Surgence in, oh, it's Eternal. It's the shade. But it's pretty actually like coral matte color. Like, I don't know, that really surprises me, but there it is. It's really, really pretty. I'm surprised how much I like this one because when I first opened it I was like, a matte coral color. Like, I don't know, I just wasn't liking it, but it is actually one of my favorites now. So you can check out my Get It Ready With Me. I think it'll be up like Thursday, I'm thinking. Thursday or Saturday. One of those two. But next is my NYX High Voltage lipstick in Sweet 16. And when I originally just kind of grabbed this out of my lipstick container, I was like, oh, I've chose a lot of peachy pink coral colors. Like, now I kind of chose another one. But when I compared this one is actually a lot more just kind of pink, which I'm glad because I know I love this lipstick. So I'm glad I have something a little different to wear this next 2 weeks. The other one is my Ulta Matte Lip Cream in Artistic. I always want to say soft matte lip cream because of the NYX ones. But this one is more of a cooler toned pink. And this I plan on kind of wearing with, I think, the blue shadow from the Shadow Couture palette, the Anastasia one. Or really anything that I kind of do like a cooler toned look. But a lot of my makeup, like I said, is going to be warmer gold bronze stuff. So I just kind of threw this in here for any cooler toned looks I do. Plus, I kind of know I like these. It's been a while since I've used them, so I want to try them out again. Then I kind of decided to choose another bright lipstick, and I chose the Nicki Minaj, the Viva La Glam one. This is hers. I just have it in this little pot, but this is actually really similar to Lorac Sex Kitten. So I might put the Sex Kitten gloss over top because this is kind of drying throughout the day. It kind of mattifies. It doesn't start out that way in the first couple hours, it's fine. But then later through the day it just turns matte and completely dries out my lips. So I might throw the Sex Kitten gloss on top because they are pretty much the same exact color. But I'm actually kind of want to pan that lipstick just because I I've had it for what feels like a long time, and I kind of just want to get rid of it. Because like I said, Sex Kitten's very similar, and I actually have the Sex Kitten lip gloss and lipstick. So next is my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in San Paulo. This one I know I kind of like for the summertime, but I don't think I've worn it yet this summer, and if I have, I don't remember. So I want to wear this just because I really love my soft matte lip creams, but I haven't used them as much lately. So, and then kind of my final and last lip combo, it's my Buxom Gloss in Debbie. As you can see, I still have quite a bit of product in there. I haven't used this much, but I'm gonna really try to kick it into high gear and use it a lot this next 2 weeks. I'm thinking this and Bit of Honey I actually might start pairing together too, just to work through both of them. But this is another product I want to finish as well. It's the Revlon Color Burst Lip Butter in Juicy Papaya. And this looks really, really pretty with the Debbie gloss. It's gorgeous. It's a little more coral, and it kind of matches the Debbie gloss, like perfect in color, but it's a little bit, I don't know, it just punches up the gloss a little bit more. So this I'm actually panning and working on finishing too. So there's that. So as you can see, everything is like decluttering and trying to get rid of stuff. I've just been on a huge decluttering kick. And I almost forgot to do fragrances. So let me do those really quick. So my Pacifica Malibu Lemon Blossom. I love this. This is one of my summer favorite fragrances, but I am actually working on using this up too, just because I want to get the spray one as opposed to the roller ball. Either way, they last equally as long. I'm a spray person. I'd rather have a spray. So, but the notes of this are lemon blossom, Litzy Cubia, and the salty sea air. So this really does just smell like summer. Like, it's really, really great. Plus, I always love that Pacifica is such a great company. They're cruelty free. I think they're vegan too. This box doesn't particularly say that they're vegan, but oh, it does. 100% vegan, cruelty free, formulated without parabens, phthalates, and propylene glycol, and then portions of proceeds support clean water. So Pacifica is just a really great company, and plus this packaging is just too stinking cute. I cannot get over their packaging. So that is kind of my fragrance. Otherwise, I do have my Bath & Body Works Forever Midnight perfume. I'm kind of thinking about using this up as well. I like the body cream of this, but the perfume I don't like as much as the body cream. So yeah, in a sense, discontinued. I don't think they're making it at all anymore. But, because I'm pretty sure I got this on one of their semi-annual sales, like super cheap. So that is everything. I'm so glad that this time I was actually able to film it and get it done. But since I've had to film it 4 times, like, I'm a little behind on like housework and other things I need to get done. So I'm not going to ramble too much longer, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.